McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and we are happy to bring you all 12 games of the second annual Glacier Peak High School Top of the Peak High School Girls Basketball Tournament. Very excited to do so. I'm Mark Ockett. Todd Elvig will be here. Also, Mike Buckholtz is expected to join us for play-by-play, and, of course, Tom Lafferty as well, as we have a full crew to bring you the action here on STSPN.com. And our presenting sponsor is Speedway Chevrolet. Also involved in the sponsorship, Fred's Rivertown Ale House, McDaniel's Do It Center, GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, Adrenaline Fundraising, and Gene Johnson Plumbing. A full array of games for you. We've got 12 coming your way. 4 today, 4 tomorrow, and 4 on Monday when they wrap up with the championship. There are 10 games or 10 teams involved. And I'm going to give you all kinds of information about these teams and how they've done the past couple of years as well as this year, and how they come into this tournament, which we feel is the best midseason tournament in the state of Washington and becoming a destination location. Let's take a look first of all as they get going for the starters for this first game. First of all, for the Newport Knights, their head coach is Kong Liu. He's in his first season after 7 seasons as assistant. First of all, for Newport, out of Kinko 4A, starting as a senior guard at 5'5", Michaela Iglesias. Also starting as a 6'1", sophomore post, Allie Harrison. A 5'8", senior guard, Eva Richards. 5'10", senior wing, Olivia Golan. And a 5'10", guard forward, junior, Charlie Arthur. Their head coach again, Chong Liu. And assistant coach is Amber Parker. Now let's take a look at the Curtis Vikings. First of all, starting as a senior 6-foot forward, Ella Brubaker. Also starting as a 5'6" senior guard, that is Catherine Matz. Starting as a 5'6" senior guard, Kiara Maxwell. Also starting as a 5'8" junior guard, Talia Spencer. And starting as a 5'11" senior forward, Takara English. As we get set to go, their head coach is Gary Viggers, and we'll take a break. Be back with play-by-play action here from Glacier Peak right after this timeout. Welcome back. We're ready for play-by-play action here at Glacier Peak High School. Mark Ockett bringing you the action as we get started. Newport Knights, Curtis Vikings, followed by Todd Beamer Titans and the Lincoln Abes. And then after that, Glacier Peak Grizzlies, Mount Spokane Wildcats, and wrapping up the day's activity with the Kent Ridge Chargers and the East Lake Wolves. As out there on the court right now, the Newport Knights from Kinko 4A with their black uniforms on and the silhouette numbers. That's going to force me to put the eyeglasses on. Curtis Vikings, a little easier to see out there with their white uniforms, and they have blue numbers and letters. Newport is from the Bellevue, actually to be more specific, Factoria area, and Curtis is from University Place down in Tacoma, down by the University of Puget Sound. Again, thanks for joining us on STSPN.com. And we once again have a great presenting sponsor. That is Speedway Chevrolet in beautiful Monroe. So we're set for the tip-off, and it's going to be some fun times out here as we get things started. I'll bring you the first two games, then Mike Buckholt scheduled to bring you the next two is tip-off time, and we are set as Curtis will win it to start things off, and we are underway in the 2019 second annual Glacier Peak Top of the Peak tournament. Missed shot. Curtis misses a couple of them down there as Newport's going to grab it and go the other direction. Quickly into front court they go as we get the tempo going in this one. Tight defense over on the far side. Forces that one to go out of bounds. Last touch by Curtis. Newport comes in with an overall record of 5-2. They are 3-2 in Kinko 4A in the Crest Division. First place, Newport Knights. And I think they need to do something to get the clock going in the right direction. I think they have to, well, everybody's got to get up to speed here this morning to get started in this one. Again, just underway, 7:38 on the clock. First quarter action from Glacier Peak High School. Hope everybody had a nice Christmas. Happy holidays. New Year's just around the corner. Knights will inbound. You see that player wearing a mask out there for Newport. That is Michaela Iglesias. She actually had a broken nose that she is recovering. That's why she is wearing the mask. We have a reach in, a push off, and that's going to go against the Curtis Vikings. Foul that time is on Takara English. Her first foul, first team foul, just an inbound play coming up. Three-point jumper, that's going to be off the mark. Good positioning down low as Curtis will get the rebound. That is Talia Spencer. And now the Vikings into front court with no score. Watch the setup of that defense right there. Looks like they're going with a zone to start things off. There's a drive to the basket, tapped around on the miss, and Newport will get it. Now 0 for 3 are the Curtis Vikings. And the thing, too, is they have to get used to this court. Be their first game of the day and coming off a Christmas break. So you expect for the first part of the game for these teams to have maybe a little bit of jitters as they settle in, but you can fully expect them to settle in. They got a lot of experience on these squads. Long range jumper. She was well outside the arc, doesn't connect on that one as Curtis will get the rebound and come into front court. Both teams trying to break the ice right here and get some points. I think we got two shots coming up right there as Takara English will head to the line. That's going to be team foul number 1 against Newport. Foul goes against Eva Richards, her first. So chance for Curtis to get on the scoreboard, and they do. Takara English averages a double-double, 13.5 points per game is what her points per game average is, and to go along with that is 11 rebounds per game on the boarding side. She just makes one of the two foul shots. First trip to the line for either team, so 1-0. Gonna fire that three ball again, way up on that one. Newport lucky to get the ricochet and the rebound on that one as the Knights have the basketball, pull-up jumper, one of those mid-range beauties. And that is good. Now that's Gigi Donahue. Gigi called up from JV to play in this one as a now 2-1 lead for Newport. I ain't going to count that, and a foul coming up. That's going to be Ella Brubaker making the basket, and that'll be the second foul of the game against the Newport Knights. The foul is going to go against Charlie Arthur. That's her first foul, second team foul. Curtis now 2 for 3 from the line as she connects on that one. Brubaker is a good one. She averages 27.3 points per game and 10 rebounds per game. So they have 2 players averaging in double-double. The Vikings. Intercepted. Here comes Curtis out of backcourt, and she gets ridden pretty hard right there. Takara English is going to go to the line once again as Newport picks up their 3rd team foul. 5:27 to go in the first quarter. That one is going to go against Michaela Iglesias, her first. Heading to the line for the second time will be Takara English. She went 1 for 2 just a little while ago. Connects on the first one, and that is now a 3-point lead, biggest lead of the game here early on for either team. And rims out, so she goes 1 for 2 twice. But there for the rebound is Talia Spencer, and that one's going to be picked off. So a turnover for each team, and here comes Newport out of backcourt. Eva Richards handling the basketball as they come into front court, and a 5-2 lead for Curtis early on. Lead has switched hands once. Driving through, nice move. That was smooth. Eva Richards picking up her first 2 points of the game, just under 5 to go. Beautiful. Great pass, great basket. Ella Brubaker wrapping it up. And Brubaker now has 5 points to lead all scorers. Curtis, SPSL 4A, SPSL, South Puget Sound League. They are 4-1, tied for second. That is in conference play, and 5-1 overall. We have a push-off. That goes against Curtis down in the paint. Their second team foul. That's Takara English, her second foul. Couple of substitutions for Curtis. Nia McCoy is in, as is Monique Evans. McCoy is a sophomore. Evans also a sophomore. Inbound pass as Curtis works it outside. Hey, they moved the ball really well right there, but couldn't close the deal. Here comes Curtis the other direction. Drive in. Great ball movement. Brubaker now up to 7 points. You can see why she averages over 27 per game, and it's a 5-point lead for the Vikings. Defense up top, Eva Richards, and she forces a travel. It paid off to play up tight that time. Todd Elvig will join me periodically as we go through the broadcast. Sarah Elvig also here working on the production, and we really appreciate the work they do, and hopefully you do as well as you get a first-class high-end production for all 12 of these games, plus all those Wesco games throughout the regular season that we bring you here on STSPN.com. Knocked out of bounds. 3:53 to go in the first quarter. Newport led 2-1. That's the only time that they've been able to get the lead, and then it goes back to the Curtis Vikings. Curtis is a team that really generally travels well, and they've got a number of fans out here this afternoon to get things going. Of course, a lot of people still away for the holidays. We got a shot clock violation. That goes against Curtis as they turn it over for the second time. Again, your presenting sponsor here throughout the tournament is Speedway Chevrolet in Monroe. You can check them out at speedwaychevrolet.com, and a longtime sponsor of STSPN.com. Here comes Newport into front court with the black uniforms on. Bounce pass up high. They move it well, and a 1-on-3. It worked really, really well for the Knights. Coming through is Charlie Arthur, and that is so much a key. Move that basketball around. Keep it in motion. She did a great job going up against 3 Curtis Vikings right there. Now the Vikings in the front court, good one-on-one play right there, but off the mark is Ella Brubaker. That's going to go out of bounds, and Newport will have the basketball. Newport is averaging 47.6 points per game. Their opponents average 37.9 for a plus differential of 9.7. They play some strong defense overall. That's way out there. They've gone 0 for 4 on those three-pointers. Going to go out of bounds. Curtis got a hand on it right before it went out. So Newport catches a break, just down by 3 points. They'll go 3-ball again. They like to fire them from out there. Another air ball, and grabbing it is Ella Brubaker. Didn't rebound off anything. It was a straight catch. 2:42 to go first quarter, and Curtis is going to turn it over for the third time. Here come the Knights out of back court. They have to reset the shot clock. It only went to 20 seconds. So they've got to get that set. We got a timeout on the floor called by the Newport Knights. And our score and a good start so far is Curtis 9, Newport 6. This is STSPN.com. School hosting the second annual Top of the Peak tournament. Last year in the inaugural version, Glacier Peak won it all, defeating Lewis and Clark of Spokane in the final, 49-40. We'll see how the Grizzlies do this year if they can defend their title. They are the only team back from last year. They had a great field last year, even a better field than this one this year. We break that all down for you. If you haven't caught it already, you're going to be very impressed. Working hard inside. Allie Harrison makes it a 1-point game. Curtis going outside. Can't connect on that one. The miss by Talia Spencer. We have some pushing around out there, and it's going to be a foul against the Vikings. That's going to go against Ella Brubaker, her first. Third team foul. Each team has 3 with 2:18 left to go in the first quarter. Now here's a chance for Newport to get on top for the second time in the game. They took a 2-1 lead early. I think we're continually having problems with them getting the shot clock right. That's the third time already here in the first quarter. They'll talk things over and readjust. So Iglesias recovering from a broken nose. Again, that's why she's wearing the mask. And also Eva Richards came off concussion protocol. So nice to have both those players back for the Newport Knights. Newport to the left side. They're going to try that 3-ball again. They just not connecting. They're 0 for 7. Good rebound underneath. And she can't follow up with a basket. So under 2 minutes to go, and Curtis with the ball up by 1. That's going to go off a foot. It'll go off a Curtis foot. They turn it over for the 4th time in this game. Coming in for the Vikings is Asia Doty. She is a sophomore. Newport again with an opportunity to take the lead. Mark Ockett bringing you the action here on STSPN.com. First game of 4 today and 12 for the tournament. Newport back up top. That looked good, the way they worked it around with the pass from Richards to Golan, but she could not connect on the shot. They're 0 for 8 from three-point land. Miss and the rebound. Here comes Richards out of backcourt with the headband. Looks like Michaela Pivick, the former Linwood star, now with Oregon State. Now that worked finally for Newport. Charlie Arthur got the great pass, connects on it, and it is the Knights up by 2, their biggest lead of the game. We got a foul going in. That'll go against Newport. Foul was on Allie Harrison, her first, 4th team foul. Heading to the line is Nia McCoy. And so far in the game, the Curtis Vikings are 3 for 5 from the line. Way, way off the mark. McCoy, the sophomore that came in just a few minutes ago. Substitution in for Newport is Kennedy Weiser. Weiser is a sophomore. Next one on the way. Ugh, too much on that one. Look at that. Underneath is Ella Brubaker. She now has 9 points in the game. And we are tied at 11. Tied for the first time in this one with under a minute to go in the first quarter. Driving through. She had the seam but couldn't get it to drop. And then there is Brubaker with the board. She's not afraid to put it up. 11 points now. Again, she averages 27 per game and a 2-point lead for the Curtis Vikings. Almost a travel. That's what they're calling for. That good ball movement again. That's tough when you can't close on those, but follow up, they have a couple cracks at it, can't get it done, and we have a foul on the rebound with 30 exactly on the clock. That will be called against Amelia Pode. First foul, team foul number 5. Vikings to inbound. Shot clock is dead. So let's see how Curtis works at it here to wrap up the first quarter. Up by 2 points. Their biggest lead has been 5 at 9-4. Vikings with the basketball. And they're just taking their time as would be normal. Underneath, count that one for Brubaker, and she is fouled. Oh my, what a quarter she is having. Foul goes against Charlie Arthur, her second. 6th team foul as Newport is stacking those up. And now Brubaker goes to the line for the second time. She completed a 3-point play earlier. She is fun to watch. A 5-point lead again at 16-11, matching their biggest lead of the game. 3 seconds, 2-1, firing from outside. They need that basket, and that is not going to fall. So at the end of one quarter is the Curtis Vikings up by 5, 16-11. We'll take a timeout. This is STSPN.com.
Year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
Second quarter getting set to begin here, and let's take a look at some numbers. First of all, for Newport, their leading scorer is Charlie Arthur. She has 5 points, but also 2 fouls. And Gigi Donahue with 2 points, 2 each for Eva Richards and Allie Harrison. On the other side, no doubt about who's been the big scorer for Curtis. Ella Brubaker with 14 points, 2 points for Takara English, and that is it. In the first quarter, no foul shots attempted for Newport, and Curtis 4 for 8. Here we go, second quarter action, a 5-point lead for the Curtis Vikings at 16-11. Thanks for joining us on STSPN.com. Mark Ockett and Todd Elvig bringing you the first 2 games. Newport in front court, there's an overplay reach. Catherine Matz for the Curtis Vikings is going to be called for the foul. That will be her first foul, team foul number 4. No shots on this one. They'll just inbound on the right baseline. Again, Newport in the black uniforms, Curtis in the white. Another 3-point miss, and underneath can't follow up with the basket. They get it back and another try. There you go. Newport gets the basket. Eva Richards connecting. And Newport did a good job earlier. They fell behind 9-4 and then battled back and regained the lead. Way off to the left side. Newport's going to get the rebound. They could tie it with a 3-ball right here as they come out of backcourt. Good pass, good shot. They do tie it. Charlie Arthur connects on that one. Her second 3-pointer of the game. Give the assist to Eva Richards, and we are tied for the second time. The lead has switched hands 3 times. There she is again. A miss, though, by Brubaker. Man, 14 points. She hit 6 field goals in that first quarter and 2 for 2 from the line, both completing 3-point plays. Skims out of there. Brubaker with the rebound. I mean, she looks tremendous inside offensively, very smooth player, and also really strong on the rebounding. Brubaker is at 6 feet. We got a foul coming up against Newport. Now that would be number 7 on them. 6 big ones in that first quarter. And we got shots with it being foul number 7. That foul is going to go against Eva Richards, her second foul. 2 shots coming up for Brubaker. So far 2 for 2 from the line. Yeah, that didn't look good when she released it. That might be her first flaw of the game. We have 3 new players coming in for the Curtis Vikings. Jayla Ward into the lineup is one of them. Ward, a junior, making her debut in this one. Here we go. There she goes, reloads, connects on that one. 17-16 the score, 6:27 to go. Second quarter action. You gotta like the way this tournament's starting out. Close matchup. We're gonna see a lot of that, I think. I don't think we're gonna see blowouts. These teams are really evenly matched. There it goes, down the chute. Good pass, good basket. Connecting is Ashley Old, who's into the game. Came in just a bit ago, and it's switching leads for the 4th time, and a 2-point lead for the Newport Knights, matching their biggest of the game. So there they go. So remember, they were down 16-11 at the end of the quarter, and now they're on an 8-1 run. So they do it again, coming back. Steal. Turnover number 5 for Curtis. Look at that. Steal and 2. Coming through is Olivia Golan with her first 2 points of the game and a 4-point lead for the Knights. Now, Curtis has led throughout most of it, but Newport making it count right now with 5.5 to go in the second quarter. Glacier Peak High School, top of the Peak tournament. Curtis with the basketball. Dribbling around is Kiara Maxwell, averages 6 points a game. She finds Brubaker. Brubaker can't connect on the long-range shot, and Newport with a chance to expand on that lead quickly with the shot. They fired 10 of those. That goes out of bounds. Last touch by Curtis. Back in for the Vikings is Asia Doty, and also for Newport will be Allie Harrison and Michaela Iglesias. Newport's got some veteran experience. 6 seniors on this team, 1 junior, 3 sophomores. They also brought a player up, so that's a freshman, Gigi Donahue. 3-point basket, Charlie Arthur hits her 3rd of the game, and it's a 7-point lead for the Knights. There you go. Oh, tough miss for Brubaker. She's got a little cold here in the second quarter. Wow, biggest lead for Curtis was 5 points. They led 9-4 and 16-11. Newport has just turned it up. They've scored 13 points here in the second quarter. Curtis with just 1. Stays with the Vikings. Good defense, forcing them outside more here in the second half. They've made adjustments, but Newport's going to be called for their 8th team foul, and that is going to go against Iglesias. That would be her 2nd foul. So they have now 3 players with 2 fouls on them. Heading to the line will be Ella Brubaker. She's got 1 and 1. So far is 3 for 4 from the line. 4:40 to go, second quarter. Connects on the first one. Now has a total of 16 points, and she had a 14-point first quarter, and she can explode in a hurry, so you can see her with another 8 to 10 points quickly here in this quarter, but a little quieter as they've forced her outside more. Hits them both. Now has 17 points, and Newport will come into front court. Pull-up jumper, thuds off the left side. Getting the rebound this time is Asia Doty, and they come into front court. Vikings backing it out. Now it's their turn to play catch-up, as Newport's done it a couple of times very successfully. 3 seconds has been called against the Curtis Vikings. Their 6th turnover of the game gives it back to Newport. For Curtis, they average 57.8 points per game and allowing 47.2. So they are up by 10.6. Newport into front court, trying to move the ball very well like they have so far in this game. They've been real successful at that. Just the shooting hasn't gone what they'd hoped. Dropping it in, that works. Allie Harrison from Iglesias. And it's back to a 7-point lead at 26-19. Driving in and coming up short on the shot is Brubaker. Follows, misses again. As her hand not as hot here in the second quarter. That's going to go out of bounds. And it will be Vikings basketball. Checking in for Newport will be Kennedy Weiser and also Eva Richards. Richards is a spark plug out on the floor, so she got a chance to get a breather with Newport building up that lead. They've been up by 7 twice. Curtis has been up by 5 twice. Way outside off the inbound pass, a miss. And now Brubaker rebounds, loses a handle on it. And coming through will be Eva Richards going the other direction. Newport taking charge. Count that, baby. Right there. Coming through. The Knights connect. Getting it that time is Charlie Arthur. She's lighting it up. And so now that is a 9-point lead for Newport. 28-19 is the Curtis Vikings have just gone cold here in the second quarter. Coming up on 3 to go, second quarter action. Game number 1 at the top of the Peak tournament. 11 more to follow. Comes out of there. Good hustle to get the rebound. That was great. Excellent job by Richards. She is fun to watch out there. Full steam ahead throughout the entire game. She had a chance to get a rest, which allowed her to get those legs a little fresher and come back in to raise havoc against the Curtis Vikings. Curtis way outside again. You really have them forced far out. We got a timeout called by Curtis, and you can see the frustration there of first-year head coach Gary Biggers. We'll take a timeout, a 9-point lead for the Newport Knights, 2:30 to go here in the second quarter on STSPN.com. Everything's okay shot clock wise and such. They were having some problem with that in the first quarter. Knights with the ball. Handling it is Eva Richards. They work inside. Good job, but couldn't close. Jayla Ward gets the rebound. Here comes Curtis out of backcourt. Less than 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. They need to tighten the gap here point-wise. Moving it well. Ella Brubaker finding Jayla Ward. Ward goes to the basket, and she gets fouled immediately. She's going to have 2 shots, and that's going to be the 9th team foul. Now let's double-check on that. That's going to go against Michaela Iglesias, her 3rd foul. Ward making her first trip to the line, doesn't have any points. That was way up the elevator shaft. Banked it, rimmed it, dropped it in. First point of the game. Couple of substitutions, and here we go. Second shot coming up for Jayla Ward. Team foul-wise, 5 for Curtis. Now they get that corrected. I thought that it was 10 fouls. They had 9 up there for a long time, and the official comes over and makes sure that it is 10. Goes high again with the foul shot. Looks like we have a lane violation on the foul shot. That's going to go to Newport. Ashley Old will check back in. Monique Evans in for the Curtis Vikings. A 6-point lead, 28-22. That's your substitution. Here we go. Newport into front court. They work it around well, but again, a missed shot. Follow-up perfect. Charlie Arthur. Arthur's having herself a big game. She has a total of 10 in the quarter and 15 overall. Second in scoring behind the 20 of Ella Brubaker of the Curtis Vikings. That's right, 20 already here in the first half. Knocked out of bounds, and that's going to be last touched by Newport. An 8-point lead for the Knights. Ella Brubaker will return to the lineup. There's that 20-point scorer. Vikings to inbound on the right baseline. Nia McCoy to Brubaker, off the window. She gets it done again. Now she's accumulating some points of significance in here in the second quarter, as 8 of them, 22 in the game. 3-point jumper, that's Eva Richards missing on it. Goes out of bounds, last touch by Newport. It'll be Curtis basketball. Teams with a chance to get a couple of shots here before the quarter winds out. Again, our presenting sponsors, Speedway Chevrolet and SpeedwayChevrolet.com. Ella Brubaker handling the basketball between the circles. Drives in, shut off a little bit, kicks it out to Doty, drives, and is going to get fouled. It's going to be 2 shots coming up for her. Does not have any points as of yet. Newport taking a lot of foul shots here in this first half. That foul is going to be against Allie Harrison, her 2nd foul. Doty connects on the first foul shot. Closing that gap a little bit. Next one on the way, that's off the mark. Looks like we have another lane violation. 9 turnovers against Curtis. In now is Jayla Ward. Newport with a chance to expand on the lead here. Shot clock is dead. 30-25, up by 5. Their biggest lead has been 9. And they'll work for the 1 shot here to wind out the second quarter here at Glacier Peak High School. Handling the basketball is Richards. 2-point jumper. Now has 6 in the game. They worked it well. Here comes Curtis out of backcourt. 2 seconds, 1, and we got a foul. That's going to be a 3-shot foul. How about it? Outside the arc. That foul is going to be called against Amelia Pode. That should be her 2nd foul. And 3 shots on the way for Doty. She was just at the line. There's 0.6 on the clock. This is a great opportunity. You make all 3 of these, that really closes the gap. There's one of them. Now 2 for 3 from the line. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a break, followed by a highlight package, and then we'll come back into the second half, get you started, a little setup with the point totals and such. There we go. It is good. So 32-27, and that will do it here for the first half of action. 32-27 the score, as the Newport Knights really come up with a strong quarter. They score 21 points, and for Curtis, not quite as good a quarter. They score 11, and we are at halftime. If there's a little weirdness or technical difficulties there on the STSPN.com side, we're working on a couple things with the scoreboard. And so we'll be all set with that, hopefully coming back for the second half. So stay with us as we bring you highlights coming up towards the last part of the halftime break, and then we'll get you set for the second half. Again, our score at halftime, the Newport Knights 32, Curtis Vikings 27. Mark Ockett and Todd Elvig bringing you the action on STSPN.com. Ready? All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're about less than a minute to go before the start of the second half. Sorry, we just weren't able to bring those highlights up, and we'll work on that throughout the tournament. Mark Ockett bringing you the action on STSPN.com. It's 32-27. Newport leading Curtis in the first game of the 12-game Top of the Peak Holiday Girls Tournament here from Glacier Peak High School. And for Newport, looking at the scoring, their leading scorer is Charlie Arthur, the junior, has 15 points, 10 in the second quarter. She has hit 3 3-pointers. Look across the other way. Curtis Vikings led by the 22 points of Ella Brubaker. She had 14 in the first quarter. She's 6 for 7 from the foul line. Got a little cold there, missed 5 shots in that second quarter. So we'll see how they do here in the second quarter or second half, as Newport's biggest lead was 9 points at 28-19. And the biggest lead for the Curtis Vikings, a couple times they were up by 5, 9-4 and 16-11. And man, I'll tell you, Newport just caught fire in that second quarter, outscoring Curtis 21-11. So we're ready for the third quarter. Moves right along pretty quick, and we'll see how it goes here for the third quarter. And if Curtis does a little bit better here, now going the other direction. They go from right to left on your screen. Thanks for joining us through YouTube and then STSPN. Tie up, and we got a held ball. That goes the other direction, back to the Newport Knights. Newport just playing some great defense out there and forcing Curtis outside in the first half. I have Newport for just 3 turnovers. Curtis with 9 of them. That's a big difference in the game, a 3-to-1 ratio. Here comes Newport out of backcourt, the black uniforms. Boy, no hesitation right there. Charlie Arthur popping it in again. Now has 17 points. She averages 15 points per game. So up over her average. You got to think she might have a chance to get 25-30 in this ball game. Curtis again forced outside. Some zone defense there coming through. And Brubaker going cold here since the first quarter from the field. She hit 6 two-point field goals in that first quarter and just 2 in the second quarter. Again, she's been to the line quite a bit. So has Curtis in general. They are 12 for 19 from the foul line. Almost a minute into the third quarter as Curtis will get the steal right there and go in the other direction. We got a foul. Driving to the basket is Takara English, the senior, draws the foul. There's 4 seniors on the Curtis roster. That's going to go on number 10 of Newport, Gigi Donahue. That's her first foul, first team foul. Connecting on the foul shot is English. She's now 3 for 5 from the foul line. So that's the 20th attempt from the line for the Curtis Vikings. Now get this. Newport did not attempt a foul shot in that first half. She hits them both. Back to a 5-point lead for Newport as each team has scored 2 points here in the third quarter. Driving the other direction, literally uncontested, is Eva Richards. Averages 12 points per game, and she now has 8. Had a 4-point second quarter, 2 in the first quarter. Back up to a 7-point Newport lead. Looks like the Knights are going to get control of it again. 10th turnover for the Vikings. Here comes Newport out of backcourt. They're quick. Just suddenly, there they are. They make things happen in a hurry. That's going to go out of bounds on the shot attempt by Eva Richards. Last touch by Newport, and Curtis will get the ball back. Brubaker averaging over 27 points a game and well on her way to that with 22. Vikings moving the ball into front court. Intercepted. Getting control of it is Eva Richards back up top. Iglesias taking it in. Misses on the shot. English with the board, and it's going to be last touch by Newport. Average height for these two teams is 5'10" for Newport, and for Curtis, they average 5'8". Both these teams playing a lot of games in the postseason last year. Newport going 4-4 in the postseason. They went 11-9 in regular season play, so overall 15-13. They played 28 games overall. nearly lose the basketball. That's Matt's getting control of it. Now over to Maxwell. Good working it away around the arc, and a three-point basket by Brubaker. That's her first three-pointer of the game. And taking a look, that is the first three-pointer overall for Curtis. Took him almost 2.5 minutes into the third quarter to finally get one. It's mostly been inside. And the passing works right there. Iglesias connects for the basket. Back to a 6-point lead for Newport. This is going to be a fun second half to call. It's been a very competitive game so far. Knocked out of bounds, last touch by Newport. And Curtis just needs to make good possessions here. We know what Newport can do. They've come back twice, down twice by 5 points at 9-4 and 16-11. Each time they didn't let it phase them. Stolen. Turnover number 12 for the Curtis Vikings, third of the half. Newport into front court. Allie Harrison over on the right side. Eva Richards. She has just been a rock here except for that miss. Throws up a rock that time. Driving into front court is Maxwell. Going out of bounds. Last touch by Curtis. Curtis went 16-4 last year in regular season play. They won 10 of their last 11 and won their last 5 to close out the regular season. Miss on that one. Newport gives it another try. A little short. Look at her working hard. Misses twice. That's Arthur, who's been pretty automatic so far in this game with 2-pointers and 3-pointers. Now Curtis gets the board. Chance to close it up once again. And going literally coast to coast was Maxwell. Took the pass at about three-quarter court and then takes it all the way in. Here comes Newport giving it another try. Just a 4-point lead now. We got a held ball. That is going to the Curtis Vikings. Almost halfway through the third quarter here, and they could close it to a 1-point deficit with a 3-point field goal. Curtis ended up going 4-2 in the postseason last year. Driving through and dropping it home is Takara English. Her first field goal of the game. She has 4 in the quarter, 6 in the game, and it's just a 2-point lead for the Newport Knights at 38-36. Trap defense out near midcourt. Here we go. Timeout's going to be called by Newport. 3:43 to go in the third quarter in a 2-point game. Curtis 38, Newport 36 here on STSPN.com.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a great shout out to one of our longtime and charter sponsors, actually. McDaniel's Do It Center, located right here in beautiful Snohomish. And it is beautiful up here. Come on up and see Snohomish sometime. Locally owned and operated by the McDaniel family for over 40 years. Proud to provide Snohomish, Monroe, Lake Stevens, Everett, Snohomish County with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. And family owned by Brad and Bob McDaniels. 2-point lead for Newport. Now that's a 5-point lead. Eva Richards comes through. She's got 5 in the quarter, 11 in the game, and Newport gets a little bit of breathing room. The Vikings making it work for them in the third quarter. They won the first quarter. Newport won the second quarter. Now Curtis doing well except for that here in the third quarter. Intercepted. Almost threw it away. She likes that side shot. Doesn't connect. A little bit short. And they keep battling for it. And finally there's going to be a foul as Allie Harrison will head to the line. She'll have 2 shots.
Fouls on number 23,
Takara English called for her third foul. That's team foul number 1. Each has 1 team foul. Too much on that one as Harrison misses. This is the first attempt of a foul shot or foul shots for the Newport Knights. That's in the entire game, and they finally connect. 6-point lead for Newport out of Kinko 4A. Certainly a very competitive league there. I've actually, through the years, announced Newport baseball public address. 11 years of that. And Brubaker kind of fading away, connects on the shot. She has 5 here in the quarter, 27 in the game. She's right about at her average of 27.3. Way, way off. Goldman gets the rebound, feeds down low. It's Harrison getting the ball, and she gets fouled, so she'll have 2 more shots coming up. Second team foul against Curtis. English called for the foul. That's her 4th foul. First foul shot is good by Harrison. Back to a 5-point lead. English is going to come out. Wise move there. Monique Evans, the sophomore, checking back in for the Curtis Vikings. Our second game scheduled for 2:45 features the Todd Beamer Titans, 4A NPSL team against the Lincoln Abes. They are a 3A Pierce County League team. Around they go. That's going to go out of bounds. No, over to the far side. Almost went touch there, but that's going to stay with the Vikings. Coming up on 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 13 on the shot clock, still plenty of time. Throws that 3-ball up. We got, looks like an offensive foul coming up. That's going to be against Monique Evans, away from the ball, her first. Team foul number 3. So this time around, Curtis getting more fouls in the second half than Newport. Newport had 12 in that first half. Curtis only had 5. Knights into front court. Good looking shot right there by Eva Richards. Her second 3-pointer of the game and of the half, has 8 here in the third quarter. And a total of 14 in the game, averages 12, so she's up over her average, and it's back to a 9-point lead. Newport matching their biggest lead of the game. Previously, their biggest lead was 28-19. Now 47-38. Near steal. No foul. That's just going out of bounds. Good defense by Allie Harrison there on the right baseline. Goes back to Curtis. Matz will inbound. Brubaker puts it on the floor and then puts it in. Wow, what a performance by her. 7 here in the third quarter, 29 in the game. Missed shot, and getting the board will be Brubaker. She doesn't hesitate. Watch this. Too high off the glass. Maybe she should have dumped it off over on the left side. We got 47 seconds to go in the third quarter. And getting it done on the other end is Charlie Arthur. 4 in the quarter, 19 in the game, back to a 9-point lead. Looks like they're working the shot clock again. They had some issues with that in the first quarter. Just a little bit differential between the quarter and the shot clock. It's like 31.5 for the quarter clock, 29 for the shot clock. Checking back in for Newport is Ashley Old. She's going to replace Allie Harrison. Harrison put in some real quality minutes here in the third quarter. She's part of the reason that Newport is up to that 9-point lead again. That's a little far to think shot. Might as well take some time off here. Brubaker nearly fouled, but no whistle. And Newport will have it. They'll work for the one shot. Up by 9 points, chance to get their biggest lead of the game. Here she goes over on the left side. 7 seconds now. Oh, just in and out. That'd have been a three-pointer for a 12-point lead. We got a travel called against Curtis. 6 turnover here in the third quarter, 15 in the game, and only 5 for Newport. 1.1 on the clock. They fire it quickly, and that's going to go way short. Maybe a deflection in there. Our score at the end of 3 quarters is Newport 49 and Curtis 40. Newport scores 17 points in that quarter, and for Curtis, they come through with a total of 13 points. Again, 49-40 as we go into the fourth and final quarter. Game number 1 on STSPN.com.
Since 2003, Gamut 360 Holdings has been recognized as a premier local builder of new homes and commercial properties in the Puget Sound area. Our 360-degree construction approach matches first-class materials with the highest construction standards to create truly unique and timeless communities for our Northwest neighborhoods. Visit Gamut360.com and discover the home that matters most to you.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action. Again, a great sponsor to mention and a charter sponsor, Fred's Rivertown Ale House, named top 10 places in the USA for holiday cheer by USA Today. That's quite a distinction. Check it out, Fred's Rivertown Ale House, right there in Snohomish. A 9-point lead for the Newport Knights, 49-40 on STSPN.com. Mark Ockett bringing you the action as Newport continues to move the ball well. Short on the shot is Richards. She's got 14 points in the game. Hit a couple of big three-pointers in that third quarter. Brubaker, the turnaround jumper, goes to the floor. No foul. Here comes Newport the other direction and in. Charlie Arthur now with 21 points. Leading scorer for the Knights. Second leading scorer in the game behind Brubaker's 29. And this is an 11-point lead now. Biggest lead of the game for Newport. Foul is going to be against the Knights. Second team foul. Olivia Golan called for her first foul. Curtis will simply inbound near midcourt. If you're just tuning in, Curtis actually did very well in that first quarter. There's a steal. Oh, she gets the roll on the second time around. Coming through is Golan, now has 6 points in the game. Another foul called against Newport. A 13-point lead for the Knights, their biggest lead of the game. That foul goes against Golan, her second foul, and relatively quickly here. Less than 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and Newport in command. So yeah, if you're tuning in, it was 9-4 Curtis, and then they closed out the first quarter up by 5 points, 16-11. That one's on the floor. Held ball. Arrow gives it to the Vikings, so they get to keep the basketball. And Newport is feeling it. Loser this game will be done. They have a couple other teams that get started coming up tomorrow. Meadowdale and Lake Stevens joining after day one. Miss and a rebound by Eva Richards. Bingo. Now that was fun to watch, how they set her up, and Arthur nails it. That's her fourth three-pointer of the game, has 24 points, and a 16-point lead for Newport. Going the other direction and nailing it will be Eva Richards. That's her third three-pointer, and it's a 19-point lead. 59-40. 6 minutes exactly left here in the fourth quarter. We've got a timeout on the floor. I'll just keep it right here and just kind of give you some information. So 10 teams competing in this one. Curtis will go tomorrow no matter what. That is set to go as Newport will be wrapped up they're just here for the one day. And then Curtis goes tomorrow, and that is the Game 7 at 4:30 p.m. So no matter what, they're scheduled to go after this one. And then would play the winner of our next game between Todd Beamer and Lincoln. So today we have that one coming up next. That's scheduled for 2:45. And then Glacier Peak, the host school and defending champions, they will play against Mount Spokane. Coming over about 300 miles. That's a 4:30 game. And then our final game today is Kent Ridge, the Chargers, against the 4A defending state champion Eastlake Wolves. Kent Ridge had a great year last year too. 6 conferences represented here in the top of the peak tournament. Conference with the most teams is the local conference, the WESCO. Western Conference with Lake Stevens, Meadowdale, and Glacier Peak in. 19-point lead for Newport. Looking good for them. Biggest lead of the game for either team, and looks like a hack. That's going to be a foul against Golan. That's her 3rd foul all here in the 3rd quarter. 4th team foul. Should be 2 shots. Heading to the foul line is Asia Doty. She is 3 for 5 from the line. That's where all 3 of her points are coming from. Down it goes. Curtis has been to the line a lot, 22 attempts. And they have made 15, now 16. So 16 for 23, not too shabby. Newport, 3 for 4 from the line. All those by Allie Harrison, and all coming in the 3rd quarter. Bump, yeah, she pushed off. Foul's going to be called against Doty. That's her 1st foul. 4th team foul. Team fouls are even at 4. 5:44 to go. 4th quarter action. Newport totally leading the charge right here. So they won the 2nd and 3rd, and so far doing great here in the 4th quarters. And there we go. Coming through once again is Charlie Arthur. 7 here in the quarter. 26 in the game. She's closing in on Ella Brubaker's 29. Great performance by Charlie Arthur. Just a junior. She played AAU ball, or has been playing it. I think will continue to do so for Tree of Hope. Thrown away. 17th turnover against the Vikings. Coming back into the lineup for Newport is Ashley Old. Brings her 3 points so far in the game. Hit a 3-pointer and a big one in the 2nd quarter. Back up to a 19-point lead. Lead switching hands 4 times early on. Was tied twice. Don't see any threat of either one of those currently. There's another 3-pointer. Eva Richards with her 4th 3-pointer of the game. She's got 20 points. They just, once they found their stroke, they missed a lot of early shots. A lot of early 3-point misses. I think they were 0 for 7 to start things off. And then they really found their groove. That foul is going to go against Amelia Pode. That's her 3rd. 15 foul. At the foul line is Takara English. Connects on that, now has 7 points. She has made a total of 5 points from the foul line, also playing with 4 fouls. They got it up to a 22-point lead. Not looking good for Curtis at this point. She'll miss the 2nd one. Battle for the rebound. Miss on that one, and Newport gets the ball. Here come the Knights out of backcourt. Iglesias playing with the mask on, coming off a broken nose. This is a great team effort here by Newport. She misses, trying to skate through. Here we go, the other direction. Curtis Vikings, good job. Doty connects with her first field goal, now has 7 points in the game, 4 in the quarter. Newport up by 19, 4:22 to go, fourth quarter action. Strong block. Weiser missing the shot off the block by English. And here comes Curtis out of backcourt. They'll try to build some momentum up for that game they've got tomorrow at 4:30. Batted around. Finally goes out of bounds, last touch by Newport. A tick under 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. This is looking like very much like Newport's game, as the Knights would improve to 6-2. Curtis would drop to 5-2. Again, the next game will start scheduled for 2:45. So we'll take a break and then come back a couple of minutes before the start of that Todd Beamer Lincoln game. Shot clock violation. Turnover number 18 for Curtis, only 5 for Newport. Newport has just played a tremendous game. Both ends of the court. Knights to inbound, backcourt. Here comes Iglesias. They can just take time. Up by 19 points with their biggest lead being 22. Thinks shot, passes it up. Gigi Donahue called up from JV to play in this one. Seen some minutes. A great experience for them to do that. There's 3 players for Curtis brought up from JV, but they're just sitting on the bench so far, and they're doing that just to give them a chance to be there, be a part of this. May see him very near the end. Last touch by Curtis. Newport will have the basketball. Turned out to be a tough afternoon for the Curtis Vikings, but they'll stay alive no matter what and play tomorrow. 4 today, 4 tomorrow, 4 on Monday, including the championship game on Monday at 3:15 p.m. Just under 3 minutes to go, 2:54 to go, and 64-45 the score. That's not going to work. Curtis gets the board, goes the other direction. Now, Maria Davis is in the game. That's one of those players that they brought up. She's just a freshman, so she does get some playing time. Davis going to get a 3-point attempt. And she gets it. Good for her. 16-point lead, 2:27 to go, fourth quarter action. Mark Ockett, Todd Elvig, Sarah Elvig bringing you the action here on STSPN.com. Down low they go. Knights getting a little cold here. They have that big cushion. Curtis goes the other way, and a miss. We got a grab on the rebound that time. Getting the board was Ashley Old. Team foul number 5.
Saw several of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies entering the building earlier.
There you go. We have you saying we have a grizzly sighting? Like being out in the forest. That foul was on Talia Spencer, her first 15 foul. Those are even up. 2 minutes to go exactly here in the fourth quarter. Nice to have you join us. You've had to do some things setting up the broadcast and everything. That's a lot goes to it. So great to have you with us, Todd Elvig.
We're still working on it, but
yeah.
I think we'll get. I think we've narrowed it down to a couple of things. So hopefully we'll get it switched out during the between games.
Coming in, another one of those young players, freshman Emma Thomas, will join the Curtis lineup. So like I said, they're trying to work those players that were coming up from JV and down the stretch here. One more to go, and that would be Taylor Roderick. She's a junior. Newport gets it back. This is their ball game, up by 16 points. Really turning it on, hitting the 3-pointers and making it work inside and out, and just a 4 foul shots. That's pretty amazing, Todd. They didn't attempt a foul shot till the third quarter.
Wow.
And lots attempted by Curtis, and they've done well in general from the line.
Who do you like for adrenaline fundraising player of the game?
Well, I tell you, with the way it's gone, you got to look at Charlie Arthur, definitely, for Newport. Now, on the other side, a 29-point game for Ella Brubaker, but she has not scored here in the fourth quarter, whereas Arthur has scored in every quarter. She's got 26 points.
Wow.
Yeah, between those two, 55 points. That's going to go now to Newport. 20 turnovers, Todd. for the Curtis Vikings. 1 minute. That looked good from the get-go, but it was a little too long. Curtis going the other direction, going to throw it away. I remember a state championship game a few years ago, 2013 I think it was, where Curtis won the state championship, and I've never seen such loyal, incredible fans at the state tournament, and they were just amazing. They definitely support these Vikings.
There's nothing like going down to the Dome. I got to tell you that right now.
It is special, and I hope it stays there forever and ever. They moved football out of there here a few weeks ago, and it comes down to economics. There's a three-point basket. Gigi Donahue connecting now 5 points, up to a 19-point lead. Shot clock blank. 15 seconds to go, fourth quarter. Newport's going to win it. But Newport will be done. They're just here for the 1 day. Curtis will stay alive as they'll play again tomorrow. Here we go. Newport, less than 10 seconds to go. Just wind it down. And they're going to win it by 19 points. 67-48 is our final score. They come through with 18 points in the fourth quarter. Very balanced throughout this game, especially the last three quarters. Again, 67-48, the final score. Curtis only scores 8 points in that fourth quarter. Are we going to be able to do the interview?
Yep.
The T-shirt? So we're going to have her come up. We're going to take a break. Oh, coming up here will be Charlie Arthur, number 20 for Newport. Number 20, as we have Sarah go down and get her, and she will be the Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game.
And we'll be right back.
We'll take a break.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
I think we played a different gym tomorrow.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No. So it should be winter. I wonder why they put Curtis in there.
Interesting.
Welcome back here. So we're getting some new information that you guys, Newport, will actually play tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, so that should be at 4:30 p.m. They had Curtis pre-mapped in there. I don't know what they were thinking there. Anyway, so we will go ahead and talk to our player of the game right here. That's Charlie Arthur. And congratulations, player of the game.
Thank
Great
you.
job. As a final score in this contest, it was not a contest down the stretch. Newport 67 and Curtis 48. So Mark Ockett bringing you the action. And, hey, hold that T-shirt out there. You are the top of the peak first player of the game. We're going to have one of those for every single player of the game for all 12 games. And that is great. Sponsored by Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game. And so great job right there. As we are happy that you guys will get a chance to keep playing on. And you had a really balanced performance at coming in averaging 15 points per game, 5 in the first quarter, 10 in the second quarter, 4 in the third quarter, and 7 in the fourth quarter, 26.
Thank you.
And great touch, too, because you didn't shoot any foul shots. You guys only shot 4 for the game. But also you came through with a total of 4 3-pointers. You started out slow, the team did.
Yes.
And then you got going. What do you just getting comfortable?
Our team tends to start off slow. We're working on it, and then once our defense starts playing well, I think we were a little thrown off with their transition. And once we picked up our transition, we were able to kind of get our legs under us and start playing with them.
I felt too. It seemed, and this is going to happen. Playing a 1 o'clock game, a couple days after Christmas, all of that adjusting, settling in, and I even said early on, give them a couple 3 minutes, both teams, and they'll get going.
Yeah.
And your team fell behind 9-4, came back, took the lead. Again, at the end of the first quarter, it was 16-11, and then came back and never looked back.
Yeah.
Great job.
Thank you.
And so what type of things were you told at those junctures, or was it just stuff you know how to make the adjustments on court?
We mostly know how we're kind of a team where we don't ever give up, so we kind of keep going. Our coach also was switching defense around. We kind of played man, we played 2-3. Once we got in the 2-3, we kind of seemed to get our scores up, so we just stayed together. We're really close, so.
That's great. Have you played for quite a while together?
Yeah. I mean, some of the starters, we have some new starters, but overall we're playing really well together. So.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Now, last year the team went 15-13 overall and had a deep run into the postseason going 4-4. So that experience really carries over. And you are just a junior.
Yeah.
That is cool. And I'll just check here, too. You played for Tree of Hope. Is that correct?
I'm playing
Do it
for them
again?
this year, too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Who's the coach there?
Mo Hines.
Okay, I know that name. Yeah. So that's great. How many games do you think you play a year? I mean,
don't
overall,
know.
counting this,
a
too.
lot. Because there's probably 25, 30 here.
Yeah.
And then for AAU, it's probably 30, 40. So
That's
a lot
amazing.
of basketball.
So 60, 70
Yeah.
games, but I know you love it. And thanks for being up here and player of the game and a great victory. And again, just to make sure, it should be 4:30 tomorrow, and that would be against the winner of our next game between Todd Beamer and Lincoln.
Yeah, I have to see my coach because maybe we're playing in a different tournament tomorrow because it's weird that
That's
they
what
already
I'm
had
wondering. They
Curtis.
put Curtis up there, so if
Maybe
I'm
we're-
going to check on that too, but I think that might be the case.
We might be playing in a different tournament.
Yeah, because they had Curtis preloaded in the bracket. So we'll get that all straightened out.
All right.
So no matter what, good luck.
Thank you.
And the rest of the way, too. You play in a very tough Kinko 4A
Yeah.
conference. So good luck. That is Charlie Arthur. Oh, I had one question for you. You thinking about college and playing anywhere standing out?
I've taken I took taking 4 visits. So went to Princeton, Nevada, Reno, Santa Clara, and then I'm going to Pacific next week.
Okay.
So those are kind of
Any
schools I'm able
favorites,
to
or
go.
you don't want to give it away, or do you want
I
to?
would keep that
Yeah,
to myself.
Princeton. That's pretty good stuff right
Yeah.
there for the Ivy League too.
Yeah.
So must have good grades. All right, we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Again, thank you so much. That is Charlie Arthur.
Thank you.
And final score: Newport 67, Curtis 48. And Newport's biggest lead was 22 points, and they almost finished with that amount right here. So we have about a 18-minute break. I'm going to go get some info and ready to go between these next two teams, Todd Beamer and Lincoln. That is coming up here on STSPN.com. Stay with us. Back with more.